Hi guys, and welcome to another Thoughtscapes. Today I'm going to be talking about, should I buy it? Things to consider when you are making your big ticket purchase. Yes guys, I know. If you watch my other video on comparison and comparing yourself to others, I am doing this on the same day. I'm wearing the same bloody clothes, but you know, the advice is different and the advice is still good, so I'm going to give it to you in this video. Now for me, 2017 is the year of adulting. Yes, I have spent the past 2 years just blowing a bunch of cash, being very reckless, not necessarily reckless, but just being very mindless about my finances. And so this year I have made an initiative that I want to be a little bit more in control about my spending and my cash flow. And so there have been lately a couple of things, big ticket purchases that I've had to make. And these were the things that I considered before I took the plunge in parting with my hard-earned cash. So whether it's a TV, a car, a house, a camper, whatever you like, if it's going to take up a lot of your money, then here's some of the things that you might want to consider before making a decision. Do you have enough cash to buy the item outright? If not, then how much debt will you put it in? Can you afford the repayment fees? And not just, oh, I'm struggling to pay the repayment fees month by month, but think about whether you can comfortably afford the repayment fees. It's also best if you have additional cash to act as a buffer, just in case anything goes wrong, so that you have the additional funds available to help you out. The worst thing to do is put yourself in a financial commitment that forces you to literally live hand to mouth. Now, this might sound like a very obvious question, but some people are not very honest with their answers. And that is, do I need it? Now, you have to differentiate between whether it is a necessity or a luxury. If it's a necessity, then your hands are somewhat tied because you need it. But then if it's a luxury, ask yourself, to what extent is it a luxury? How much do I need to pay for this in order to meet my necessary or my basic needs? Do I need to go for the fancier model, or can I downgrade this option slightly? You can also do this with necessities actually. So let's say salt, use that in your cooking. Do you necessarily need to pay an extra £5 for the pink Himalayan salt that was gathered from the mountains of the Himalayas and it took about 3 years to get into the supermarket because of the processing and the travel time? Or could you just buy table salt and they would both pretty much taste the same? You tell me which is a luxury. To me, obviously, the answer is, yeah, I don't need to tell you. Is this adding value to my life, and how much enjoyment will I get from it? If your answer is, actually it's not really adding that much to my life or zero to my life, then you have to really consider whether you should buy it or not. And the chances are you should not buy it. And if it adds a moderate to high value to your life, think about the ways that it adds value to your life and whether the perceived added value is worth the added price tag. For example, this sounds really superficial, but I really wanted this hairdryer, right? And it came with all the bells and whistles. But then I had to think to myself, yeah, it was a good deal when I saw it. And that's what kind of enticed me into buying it, because I was like, ooh, it's a good deal. It was like £50 off. But then I thought to myself, what is the perceived added value? And number one, my hair is short now. So the times that I do use a blow dryer or a hair dryer is very seldom. So if I purchase that, let's say in the next 6 months, I'll probably only use it 3 times. So is it worth me spending £80 for something that I'm going to use for 3 times in the next 6 months? Not really, because over the lifetime of this hairdryer, I'll probably, let's say I'll keep it for 10 years, I'm going to be using it maybe like a handful of times a year. And I'm paying £80 for it. Like, do I really need to when I have a hairdryer already as well? There we go, that's another point. Do you have another one? Do you have one already? How often will you use it and how long will it last? If you use it very often and it's going to get lots of mileage very frequently, then you could consider, yeah, you know, I should probably buy this because I'm going to use it. My money is going to stretch and my money for buying this thing is going to go far. You could also consider whether anyone else could benefit from it. So when you are done with the use of the item, or you don't need it anymore, or you don't want it anymore, could someone else have it? Could you resell it? Oh, and also don't forget to consider maintenance costs of the things you're buying, especially for really, really big ticket items like cars and houses. Every year you have to invest money in maintaining that car or maintaining that house, and that adds up to the total cost. The final thing worth considering is the depreciation and resale value of the thing that you're buying. Depreciation is the value something loses over time. So a car that you buy now will not cost the same. It will cost a lot less in 5 years' time. And the resale value is the value of an item at a specific point in time. So to take the car example again, if you sold your car in 5 years' time, what would be the resale value of that car? Considering that it has depreciated and it has a depreciation, maybe you bought it for, let's say, £20,000, and in 5 years' time it will cost £2,000. This consideration is important for things and items where it's commonplace to resell them in the future. For instance, it's quite common to buy a second-hand car and sell your car in the future. It's also very, very common to sell your home. So the questions you can think of asking yourself are, is this item subject to depreciation, and by how much? What do I think the resale value is going to be in X amount of years? Bearing in mind the depreciation cost and also the resale value, is it worth buying it right now? And if your answers all add up to yes and it's positive, then it's a no-brainer, buy it. So just to summarize again, guys, things to consider are, do I have the option to buy it outright with cash? And if not, how much debt will it put me in? The other question is, do I really need this? Ask yourself some serious questions. How much value is this adding to my life, and is it worth it? How often will I use it, and how long will it last? And then the final thing is, what's the depreciation cost, and what will the total resale value be? Guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you can use some of the principles and also the questions before you make your big ticket purchase. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below if you have anything that you want to say about it, positive, negative, I will take it on board. And subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. They're cows who have never been touched, have never seen a woman. Oh wow, no, please do give it a thick thumbs up.